Louise de Kérouaille, the Duchess of Portsmouth, remains one of the most enigmatic and controversial figures in the history of the British monarchy. Born in Brittany, France in 1649, she was thrust into the political and romantic spotlight of the Restoration Court of King Charles II of England. Her life story vividly illustrates the intricacies of European courts, the interplay between love and power, and the personal dramas that shape the political landscapes of England and France. Louise's significance stems not just from her role as a mistress to a king, but also from her influence in the complex political alliances between England and France during her time. Her story reflects the tactics employed by women in her position to navigate and negotiate spaces of power in predominantly male-dominated environments. So what brought a young French noblewoman to the bustling, intrigue-filled courts of Charles II? Let's now delve into her early years to uncover the roots of her journey to prominence. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and also give the video a thumbs up. This really helps our channel grow. And finally, don't forget to hit the bell and select all notifications so you never miss one of our videos. And so with that said, let's begin today's story. Louise was born into a family of minor nobility in Brittany, a region known for its fierce independence and distinct cultural identity within France. Her father, Guillaume de Kérouaille, was a relatively modest nobleman, which meant that Louise's early life, while comfortable, was not lavish. This background instilled a resilience and ambition that would later be crucial in her courtly endeavours. Educated primarily at home and later in convents, Louise received a typical education for a girl of her standing, which included lessons in etiquette, history, and the arts. Here she developed the refined manners and graceful demeanour that would later captivate the English king. However, her intelligence and astute understanding of politics, often overlooked by her contemporaries, shaped her future role at the royal courts of Europe. Louise de Kérouaille's journey to the English court began under the auspices of serving Henrietta of England, the Duchess of Orleans and the sister of King Charles II. In 1670 she was part of the entourage that accompanied Henrietta on a diplomatic mission to England, a pivotal moment that set the stage for Louise's future. Initially, Louise's role was not prominent. She was one among several ladies in waiting. However, her striking appearance and poised demeanour quickly drew attention to the English court, a place teeming with political schemers and ambitious courtiers. It was during this visit that Charles II first noticed her. The king, known for his numerous liaisons and affections, was captivated by Louise's charm and intelligence, distinguishing her from the other court beauties. Louise's arrival at the English court was timely. Charles II sought to strengthen ties with France, and with her French heritage and connection to the French court through Henrietta, Louise represented an opportunity to forge personal and political bonds. Her presence at court soon became more than just ceremonial. She was becoming a player in the intricate dance of diplomacy and alliance building between the two nations. A delicate blend of intrigue and cautious diplomacy characterised Louise's early interactions at the English court. Navigating a place known for its elaborate rituals and deep-seated rivalries required a nuanced understanding of power dynamics, which Louise quickly began to master. Her initial encounters with King Charles and other influential courtiers were marked by her ability to engage in witty banter and her poised, dignified manner, making her a notable presence despite her foreign origins. Her fluency in English and her French elegance allowed her to bridge cultural divides, endearing her to the king and alarming those who saw her as a potential political threat. The court's curiosity about Louise soon turned into a keen interest as she demonstrated social grace and keen intellect, suggesting her potential for a more significant influence. Louise's relationship with Charles evolved from fleeting encounters to sustained intimacy over several months. As their interactions became more frequent, the king's fascination with her grew, influenced not only by her beauty, but also by her intellect and perspective on Franco-British relations. Charles, a monarch with a keen interest in diplomacy and personal governance, found Louise's insights invaluable, especially given her connections to the French court. Their relationship deepened amid the luxurious backdrop of the royal palaces, where private conversations allowed Louise to display her understanding of political matters, subtly positioning herself as a soothing influence on the mercurial Charles. Her ability to maintain discretion and provide thoughtful advice in matters of state intrigued Charles, who, more overtly ambitious and self-serving courtiers, often surrounded. Louise's ascent to become one of Charles' favourites was not merely a result of her allure. Several factors played pivotal roles. Her charm was undeniably a significant asset. She could remain composed and engaged in the complex social settings of the court. Additionally, her political acumen became increasingly apparent to Charles. She adeptly navigated court politics, aligning herself with crucial power brokers while maintaining a neutral stance in the factional rivalries that plagued the king's arena. Moreover, Louise's influence was bolstered by her role in diplomatic channels between England and France. Her position afforded Charles invaluable insights into French strategies and intentions, making her an indispensable information source in delicate negotiations. Her ability to blend personal affection with political manoeuvring made her a unique and powerful figure at court, differentiating her from other royal mistresses who seldom ventured into political influence. As the acknowledged mistress of King Charles II, Louise de Kérouaille was bestowed with numerous privileges that elevated her status significantly within the court. She received lavish gifts, including jewels and properties, and was granted the title of Duchess of Portsmouth, a rare honour for a royal mistress. These material benefits were accompanied by unprecedented access to the king, allowing her to attend private audiences and council meetings, which was almost unheard of for women back then. However, Louise's position also came with substantial challenges. Her elevated status made her a target of public scorn and the envy of other countries. The English populace, predominantly Protestant and increasingly nationalistic, viewed her as a Catholic foreigner, influencing their king and by extension their country's policies. She faced constant scrutiny and criticism in the press, which often portrayed her as a manipulative figure, wielding undue influence over Charles for French interests. Of course, their relationship eventually led to a child, Charles Lennox, who was born in 1672. He would become in time the first Duke of Richmond and the first Duke of Lennox. He was the youngest of Charles II's 7 illegitimate sons and the only one born to the king's French-born mistress. Yet Louise's influence over Charles was not just personal but significantly political. Her closeness with the king granted her a degree of influence that she used to sway him on matters concerning Anglo-French relations. This period saw several critical negotiations between the two nations, including the secret Treaty of Dover, where Louise reportedly played a role in facilitating discussions that led to England's support of France against the Dutch. Her political involvements were not limited to diplomacy. Louise often acted as an intermediary between Charles and Louis XIV, providing intelligence and messages. Her ability to navigate these high-stakes exchanges affirmed her political acumen and solidified her utility to Charles as more than just a companion. She effectively used her position to broker peace talks, arrange secret alliances, and manage delicate international relations, shaping primary political outcomes between England and France. The death of Charles II in 1685 marked a significant turning point in Louise de Kérouaille's life. With the ascension of James II, Charles's brother, Louise's position at court became uncertain. Although she initially retained her titles and some influence, the changing political landscape, marked by the rise of Protestant power and increasing anti-Catholic sentiment, led to a gradual withdrawal from the English court. Louise returned to France, where she lived under the patronage of Louis XIV, who provided her with a pension. She spent her later years in relative calm, focusing on managing her estates and navigating the social circles of the French aristocracy. Her life in France was starkly different from her time in England. She was no longer at the centre of political power. However, she maintained a dignified presence in society, leveraging her experience and connections when needed. In her later years, Louise's reputation began to transform. Once vilified in England as a foreign intruder, she came to be seen as a figure of fascination and a symbol of the opulent and politically intricate Restoration era. Historians and cultural narratives often reflect on her intelligence and diplomatic skills, recognizing her as a significant player in the politics of her time, rather than merely a royal mistress. Louise's legacy is multifaceted. In France, she is remembered as a savvy noblewoman who navigated her way through two royal courts with understanding and grace. In England, her legacy is more contentious. She is more often remembered for her role in the secret machinations of the Treaty of Dover and for influencing Charles II towards pro-French policies. However, modern scholarship has begun to view her contributions more broadly, acknowledging her as a woman who wielded considerable influence in an era that offered few opportunities for women to participate openly in political life. Louise de Kérouaille, Duchess of Portsmouth, stands as a compelling figure in the annals of history, not merely for her role as a royal mistress, but for her profound impact on Anglo-French relations during a critical period. Her ability to navigate the treacherous waters of court politics, her diplomatic influence and her role in shaping policy highlight her as a woman of power and intellect. Her life sheds light on the complexities of monarchical politics and the significant yet often under-recognised roles women played in them. The life of Louise de Kérouaille offers invaluable insights into the dynamics of power, gender and diplomacy in the 17th century. Her story challenges the traditional narratives of women's roles in history, showing how one woman's influence extended beyond the private sphere into international politics. As we consider Louise's legacy, we are reminded of the intricate interplay between personal relationships and political power, and how history can be shaped as much by the persuasions of the court as by the decisions of the battlefield.